Steel may well be weeping if he were to see how things turned out here. Superman Returns, based on the eponymous film, tries to offer players the thrill of flying through Metropolis at blistering speeds and making use of Superman's more iconic powers. While that may sound like a fun encapsulation of the character, the surrounding game is anything but. From its brevity to the triteness of the side missions, from its lackluster fighting to the mundane visual design, everything about Superman Returns feels like a half measure with a severe creative miscalculation. It really shouldn't be this hard to build an entertaining experience around a man who can shoot eye lasers and fly into Earth's atmosphere, right? Number 5. Destroy all humans. Path of the Furon. Speaking of games with good ideas but terrible results, here's one about aliens in the 70s. Path of the Furon picks up a decade after the events of Destroy All Humans 2, with the latest clone of Cryptosporidium setting out to investigate the return of once extinct alien warriors.
I'm ready. Teach me how to beat him.
You are far from ready.
It's an interesting premise, undermined by the game's repetitive missions, glitch-filled play, rather simplistic visuals, and a script that never quite rises above cringe-worthy stereotypes and really low-grade humor. Equal parts embarrassing in quality and unpleasant in tone. This is one close encounter no one ever wants to have.
Good. A day without rubbing out goons is like a day without sunshine.
Number 4. Homefront: The Revolution. A reboot of the Homefront series, The Revolution tackles the absurd prospect of a North Korean occupation of the US city of Philadelphia. The game allows you to explore the city in between missions, with weapon customization and scavenging offered as some semblance of variety. Unfortunately, the promise of those mechanics is thoroughly ruined by the game's poor mechanical and creative design, making the world less than appealing to engage with.
Watch the guard.
Yeah, don't get stepped on.
Players can look forward to a paint-by-the-numbers storyline with uninspiring characters, uncomfortable gunplay and stealth elements, and a laundry list of frustrating technical issues. That this is also an aesthetically underwhelming game with no visual flair or energy should not be surprising either. Number 3. Infestation: Survivor Stories. Oh, how the shame just built up in regards to this one. Originally known as The War Z, this open-world survival game had more than a little in common with the DayZ mod. It relied upon similar elements: food and thirst management, combating zombies, working with other players to survive, but in a much less refined manner. Among other issues, reviewers noted its plentiful bugs, the ease with which hacking could occur, the absence of promised features like a leveling system, and its reliance on microtransactions. And let's not even get into the legal troubles with the US Patent and Trademark Office or those problematic remarks made by the game's producer. Number 2. Day 1: Gary's Incident.
The frame rate is awful. It is dreadful. It drops below 30 very regularly, and this isn't even with all of the options enabled.
Oh goodness, where to begin? This first-person shooter puts us in the shoes of Gary Friedman. Yes, we do see what you did there. A cargo aircraft pilot who ends up in the Amazon and discovers a lost civilization. Resorting to tired cliches in its establishment of plot and setting, Gary's Incident has the larger issue of being incompetently made. Weapons fired in close quarters can just straight up fail to harm enemies. The world is riddled with textureless surfaces, and the AI for enemies is blissfully ignorant of sounds and actions. Apparently, the developer didn't take criticism very well and filed a copyright claim to take down Total Biscuit's video. Yeesh.
This is a full release. It is not early access. This is not a beta, guys. Seriously, I am not lying to you. And this is after about 3 patches.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Number 1, Raven's Cry.
I kept my end of the bargain. Now it's your turn.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong here. First released under the name of Raven's Cry, This pirate-themed sandbox game established itself right out of the gate to be a subpar game. It suffered from game-ending crashes and was clearly dated in terms of visual design. Digging any deeper, however, reveals a content-light product plagued by glitches, undermined by its unwieldy combat mechanics, and it's just atrocious in the realms of writing and voice acting.
I seem to remember saving yours a few times back there.
Facing overwhelming negativity, the game was eventually rebranded as Vendetta: Curse of Raven's Crime, only for this version to also get lambasted in reviews and eventually be pulled from sale. Oops. Do you agree with our list? What do you feel are the worst open world games? For more liberating top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Aren't you lucky? See you on the other side.
Listen, everyone. New law is signed. city. Get going. Time to earn your friend. Workday ends. It's off time. The work shift starts. Listen, everyone. New law is signed. End of shift. Go rest all you can. Hear me. New law in the city.